Welcome to this episode with Heather. And in this episode, we are going to be speaking about 3 simple things that you can do to find yourself again and be more than just mum. Before we get into this topic, I would love for you, Heather, to please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Fabulous. Hello everybody. I'm very, very excited to be here. So thanks, Dani, for asking me to come on as your guest speaker today. So I am the owner, the proud founder of More Than Just Mum. And I am a multiple business owner, so I have a business in network marketing as well, but I am a mindset coach for mums who are feeling stuck, who have lost their confidence, they've lost their self-belief, and actually don't know who they are anymore. Because when we have kids, for most of us, we lose ourselves because we become mummy 24/7. And that's very much what happened to myself. I think after I had my first child, after 2 weeks, I asked for asked my husband if he'd got the receipt so I could have a refund because I was really, really struggling, but I was so scared to admit that. And I've now got 2 children, 2 boys, and life as a mum is pretty hard. It's not the easy dream that I thought it was going to be. Um, but I've always been very, very ambitious. I'm very much a dreamer, an action taker as well, and a doer. And I realized in 2020 that there are actually other mums out there who were struggling, who had lost themselves. And I started to do some work on myself, and it's changed absolutely everything. Started this business as well. And I'm a mindset mentor. If I've already said that, maybe I have. I'm not perfect. I'm just me. I show up as me now. I'm a rebel. I've never liked being told what to do. Um, I love it when my kids go to bed nicely, when they don't argue. They're 6 and 9. Um, and I am just trying to live my best life with the ups and downs that life and the side swipes that life gives you and the challenges, and to positively impact and inspire other mums that they can live their dreams and be more than just mum.
I love that. And my first question is like, why do you think that mums actually do lose themselves? And I relate to this, and I know it's something you've spoke about for years, and I related to it very, very quickly because my journey as a mum was very similar to, it still is in ways similar
Yeah.
to yours actually. And I love how real and raw and honest you are with it, which is why I wanted to actually bring you on the podcast because people need to hear this, mums
Mm.
need to hear this. So why do you think mums lose themselves?
Because, oh, I've got all goosebumps. You made me go a bit emotional there.
Oh no.
But that's good. That's good
Yeah, it is
because
good.
I won't be the only one that's felt that emotion as you've said that. Because it
Definitely.
takes me back. It takes me right back. So we give absolutely everything to our children. And, when they don't sleep in the night, when they need feeding, we literally become what they need. And there's a lot of society beliefs, and that when you have a baby and like life is amazing and they just fit in. They, am I allowed to swear on
Yes.
here? I don't know. Yeah, they don't just fucking fit into your life. Like you have to become this selfless person. And regardless of how kind, how lovely, how caring you are before you have children, you are actually quite selfish, because the only person that you really have to look after for most people is yourself. All of a sudden, you have to keep this tiny human baby alive. And
Yeah.
it's like, there's no guide, no real guidebook. There's no, obviously there's coaches and stuff now, but you know, when you become a first time mum, you kind of expect it to be this lovely little bubble and this dream, and it's bloody hard work. And we, we think that, oh, well, they just become our lives 24/7. And it's hard mentally, emotionally, physically,
Mm.
because however you deliver your baby, however your baby comes into the world, that is trauma. And I'm not going to go
Yeah.
too much into that because I'm not trauma trained or anything like that. I am just, I've been there. And then maybe you have another child, or you go on your own journey, and you just give your whole self, your whole life to your children. And then you stop buying yourself a new pair of knickers. Like, look, I had this conversation the other day with a friend actually, and it was like, She's like, oh, I feel guilty going to Asda and buying like I had these big knickers and like they've got lace around the top, and I feel dead guilty going to buy them. It's like the same ones that I have. It was dead funny. Like, and it's like, but we feel guilty going to buy ourselves a new pair of knickers. We feel guilty going out with our friends. We feel guilty for doing the things that we used to do and that we should be allowed to do without having that guilt. And
Mm.
we just like even just having a shower or having a bath, which are basic human needs, we for some reason we've got this belief that actually we need to feel guilty about it.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm sat in the car. I've just been for lunch with a friend and it's absolutely chucking it down. So I'm hoping you can still hear me.
I can, yeah.
But yeah, and I just think we disconnect with who we are. Like, I'm Heather, I am not mummy 24/7. You're Dani, you're not mummy 24/7.
Yeah, it's
Like,
true.
we are our
It's
own
so true.
people and we forget that.
We lose our identity, don't we? I think this
Mm.
definitely happened for me. More so when I had my second child, which was quite interesting. Um, and your life changes overnight, doesn't it? For
Yeah.
me, I was working, then I wasn't because I had kids that I needed to, like you say, keep alive. And then I lost myself. And I think that's why I went into business actually, because I did lose myself, and this was my thing where I could be me. And now I've accepted, like, even for myself, that I am a different person in different places, but they are all still me. I'm mum for the boys and Eliza. I'm wife for my husband. I'm friend and I'm sister and I'm daughter and I'm all those things, but I'm still me once you strip all of that back. And it really is hard to find that part of yourself. And I love the idea of being more than just mum, because we are
Mm.
more than just a mum. But what I want to talk about actually, before we get into the three things we can do, what does more than just mum mean? Like, to you, to us, and this message that you're putting out to people,
Mm.
what's the essence behind that? What does more than just mum mean, or just being more than
So
mum?
yeah, for me, I've always had a dream and a drive and this deep desire, burning desire in my stomach to live this life that I never truly believed that I could have, which was like
Mhm.
working part-time, earning a full-time income, and being the best mum that I could be. And for years, I thought I was such a shit mum.
And
Like,
that's
and I know that I'm not alone now. Like, when I share this, I get quite emotional because it takes me right back. But I know there's people listening to this right now that are going, do you know what? I am the shittest mum in the world. And actually, you're probably not. You,
I've got to
what
feel
I
it.
want, the
Feel your
first
energy.
thing, like the
Oh,
first thing that I want you to do is ask yourself, what does a good mum look like? What qualities, what characteristics does a good mum have for you? And I did
mm,
this on a one-to-one call with a client the other day, and she's like, "Oh, actually, do you know what? I am a good mum." And just because your house isn't Instagram worthy or it's a mess, right? That is actually normal life. And I think so much of the time we are like, I mean, at the moment, right? I've got my nails done, I've had a spray tan, I've got my hair in. I feel like $1 million. I do not look like this all the time, right? The amount of times that I've gone in the bathroom in the morning and gone, should I just do a selfie and stick it on Instagram? Because this is what I actually look like most of the
yeah,
time. But being more than just mum for me is about who you are and remembering that. And also, if you've got a passion that you want to follow, or you've got another purpose in your life, follow it, because
yeah,
otherwise you are going to end up very fucking miserable. And I say that with lots and lots of love, because if you are not happy with your life and where you are right now, the only person that can change it is yourself. And that's really hard, because I spent years pointing the finger of blame, and there's always three pointing back at you.
yeah,
I don't know if you've heard that before, but you have got to understand that society, that your husband, your partner, your wife, your kids, they're not going to change. You are the one that's got to change your mindset, your outlook on life, your perspective on things. And do you know what? When I first started this business, I was up till 2 in the morning learning how to build a Facebook group. I was up, late at night, early in the morning, because my youngest was up at 4 a.m. most days. Now gets up and goes downstairs. It's fine. But being more than just mum to me means like uncovering what your goals, dreams, and hopes are and your vision for your life, and going out there and living those and making them happen. Because being a mum is amazing, but you are your own person as well.
Yeah.
And
It's so true.
it's uncovering. So I speak to so many people, they go, but I don't know who I am anymore. This has happened. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I love. I don't know what I enjoy doing. And that's where I can come in, because so much of the time as well, like I get it even now, and I'm not perfect, right? I'm a mindset coach, a goals, whatever. I'm not perfect. I'm human. And mindset is a lifelong journey. And even when I go out without the boys now, I feel a little bit naked.
Yeah, I get that. Do you
You
still
kind of
look for them
use,
like they're still there? Because I do
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. And like when I go out with my boys, do you know what? Even if sometimes they play up, right, and the little shits, I am so proud that little old me, ginger kid from Blackpool with freckles, has found this gorgeous, tall, dark, handsome man, managed to persuade him to like marry me. I didn't persuade him. Like, we've had two beautiful kids who have got their own challenges, right? One of them's undiagnosed ASD. He's also got Crohn's at 9, and the other one we are going through tests at the moment. Woohoo!
Um,
Husband's got Crohn's, but despite all of that, I know who I am as a person. I know what I want from my life, and it's about finding out how I can do that around my kids. I don't know where I was going off with that trail, because I know I wasn't where I was going. But we were talking, weren't we, about people finding themselves.
Yeah,
I don't know
it
what I want
all
for.
relates. And actually what
It
you've just
does.
said is why I'm here doing what I do, because that's what I want to build for everybody else as well. It's that balance of being able to follow your passion, do what you do. Obviously I help in a you help with the mindset side, I help
Yeah,
with the strategy side and
yeah.
the business in particular, that side. And so like
I know.
together, me and Heather, mash us together, it'd be perfect, your life will be sorted.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
Um,
we need to do something together. But what I was
yeah,
going to say very quickly, sorry, is that because you like when I go out with my kids, I feel really confident. And actually, sometimes when I go out without them, I'm going to a business event next week, right? I've got a coat that I always wear that's like my comfort blanket, because I'm actually really quite shy in real life. And I get really nervous, and I can have panic attacks at events and things like that in the past. But you lose your confidence.
yeah.
You become a mum to go out and actually, right, well, I've not worked for so long, so how am I going to go back into corporate? How am I going to go back and do this? Actually, I want to start my own business, but where the hell do I even start? Well, you actually start with you and
Mm.
working on you and your mindset and finding yourself, finding out what you love. Because it's so cheesy, isn't it? But when you find something that you love and you do that, it's not work
No, it's not. It's not.
most of the time. There is a bit of the
Yeah.
tech scenes that does feel like work, but you can outsource that.
It's so true though. And like when you said about that question you asked a client about what a good mum looks like, in my opinion, and I said this to my best friend before, I know you're a good mum because you've just asked me if you're a good mum. And a
Yeah.
mum that isn't a good mum would not care if she's a good mum or not. And I
No.
believe that is so, so true. And fucking hell, Heather, you're the only person that's broke me and nearly had me bawling my eyes out on this podcast. Like the tears were coming, I felt it in my heart because obviously it means a lot to me as well on the journey I've been as a mum. And I have said this to you before, I relate to everything you say all the time. And I know there's like probably many, many, many more. I'd be surprised if there is a mum out there that doesn't relate to this because I do think it all impacts us in different ways, but it does impact us. So
Mm.
when we are feeling, and if someone's listening to this and they're feeling this and they want to find themselves again and they are struggling with this, or maybe they've overcome it, but they're starting to see those feelings creep back in again, or they're losing themselves again. What three things do you reckon that they can do to go back to that and finding themselves again so that they can
Yeah.
be more than just mum?
Yeah. What I do want to really like emphasize on is that I've been on a massive journey. I've been doing mindset for over 13 years now. And when I did this work back in 2020, which is when it was the 27th of July, actually, I had a discovery call with a coach. And that's when I started to realize actually, I needed to do that. Um, that there are times like this. So I'm not basically December 2023. My son was in and out of hospital the whole month. The day after he came out, my dad unexpectedly passed away. And and then my son's been in and out of hospital with treatment, surgery, blah, blah, blah. And it's still happening now. And as we're recording this, it's like 6 months later. I have lost myself again.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that once you do these things that you're never going to have to do them again. It's a process, it's a journey, and every time you do this, you will up level. And they say up level, new devil, whether you're in business or not, like in life, shit happens.
It
We are
does.
all resilient. And sometimes when people are like, oh, you're so strong, you're so resilient, and you just think sometimes, fucking wish I wasn't. I wish I didn't have to deal with this. We all have life happen. And sometimes it's utterly shite.
Mm.
And you just have this inside this thing going, I'm going to get through this. I don't know how I'm going to get through this, but I'm going to get through this. And when you are aware of that, when you know yourself, this makes it not easy. It does make it easier, but it's still hard.
Yeah.
So what I would recommend that you do is get it out of your head and onto paper. Okay, it's called a brain dump. It's quite a simple task, and you might be thinking, well, I'm not going to write my stuff down because what if someone sees it? Well, just burn it. Once you've done it, just burn it. We have 60 to 80,000 thoughts every day going off in our heads, right? That is without the goals, without the business, without anything. That's an average mum, right? None of us are average. We're all special, in one way or another, I'm sure. So getting all of this stuff that is going off in your head out on paper is going to massively help with reducing the overwhelm. Okay. When you've written it all down, if it's a feeling, try and understand why you're feeling that way. So I'll give you a quick example. So 2020, it was lockdown, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah,
And
the joys.
we moved house in the June. My husband was working from home in the spare bedroom that's now an office. And he was upstairs for 8 hours a day, being able to work, hot cups of tea. I was stuck in the fucking garden with the pissing kids. I mean, it was glorious sunshine. And I was feeling so angry, bitter, and jealous at my husband. Like, I was in the garden in the sunshine with my kids. Like, what was my problem? Like, I had my first ever house, 4-bed detached. Like, I had a business that was going well, not as well as I wanted it to, but I was so angry, bitter, just, I was horrible. I wasn't a person I wanted to be. And that's what made me go, do you know what, Heather, you've got to do something, because if you carry on this spiral, you're just going to end up going down and it's not a nice place. So I did this brain dump, and I was really, why was I getting angry with like the kids and my husband? Well, because I wasn't fulfilling my purpose and my passion, which
Yeah.
was to inspire and help other people. That is what I've been put on this planet to do. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, right, okay, so now I understand why I'm feeling that way. I can do something about it. And within 4 weeks, more than just mum was born. 4 weeks. I wasn't even going to start a business. I just wanted to build my other one, right? But when you realize that, so do the brain dump. So everything that's going off in your head, get it out on paper. It doesn't matter if it takes you ages to write it. It doesn't matter if you think, I wish the kids would just fuck off, because that was one of mine. Right? If you're feeling like that, write it down and then try and understand why you're feeling like that and try and turn it into a positive. That's the first thing that I would recommend you do. The second thing is to do a contrast to clarity exercise. Now, this is another download that I've got that's free. So you can do this with different areas of your life, your relationship, your business, your job, your family, what health, whatever. So on the left-hand side of the paper, you write down contrast. So all of the stuff in that area of your life that you do not like. Okay. So I did this for my relationship in 2012. 2 weeks later, I found my now husband on Plenty of Fish. Like, and he literally, I did 2 pages of this. He ticks every single box that I actually wanted, other than camping and something else. So write down all the stuff that you don't want in that area of your life. And then on the right-hand side of the paper, write down all the stuff that you do want. Because I tell you what happens when you're in that state of, oh, fuck me. Oh my God, like everything's just going to shit. What do you focus on? You don't focus on the bloody good stuff, on the stuff that you should be grateful for. You focus on all the bad stuff, so you're going to attract more of it. I teach
Yeah.
about law of attraction as well. So by focusing on the stuff that you do want in your life, you will start to attract more of that. I promise you. But you've got to believe it. Like you've got to believe that that's what you want, and that and so that's a really good exercise. It's quite a positive one as well. And then the third thing is when I speak to a lot of mums, they're like, well, I don't know what I enjoy anymore. I don't know who I am. I don't know. Right, okay, so you've got to start. Again, pen and paper, not on your phone, pen and paper. Start thinking about the things you used to do before you had kids. Like
Mm,
going the weekend, maybe not going out and drinking every weekend because I'm on a journey with alcohol as well, but alcohol is a depressant. So if you
yeah.
wanted to feel better about yourself, go on a walk, go and do something active, go and just be in the fresh air, go and dip your toes in the sea, whatever, right? But what are the things that you used to do before you had kids, before you met your partner, your husband, your wife? What are the things that you can do for hours on end and then go, oh shit, it's 3 hours has gone. And I'm not on about scrolling on social media, by the way. That is not like, that didn't exist 10 years ago. So I'm not having that as an answer because that can just get you on another rabbit hole. So what are the things that make you happy, that light you up? And when I was asked this question, I was like, well, I don't know. Like a shower? Is that the right answer? And then I really started to think about it. And it was actually, well, I remember speaking on stage at an event in 2017 and I absolutely smashed the shit out of it. Like it was, I was just this incredible speaker. And I just came off, and I don't know if those of you in network marketing know Tom Big Al Schreiter, um, a legend in the network marketing. Like he was on that same stage and he came up to me afterwards and said, well done, that was amazing. Like, oh my God. And I was like, that is what I need to be doing. I need to be on a stage, speaking, inspiring, and traveling the world. Now, I travel the world in my car, on my laptop, online. I just knew I had to be doing that. But, then a few other things came up. Well, actually, I do enjoy going to the gym. I don't really do much, but I enjoy going. Like, I like getting my nails done because it makes me feel good. I like it when my kids come up to me and say, oh, mummy, I just love you so much. Like, you can't always control that, obviously, but when you've helped somebody else, I love helping and inspiring other people and giving them hope. And you can do that with a simple smile. If you're out and about, I'm going into lots of detail now, but if you're out and about, just smile at someone. If you see someone's got nice nails, go and say, do you know what? I like your nails. And you can start accepting. The more compliments you give, the easier it then becomes for you to accept those compliments as well and go, actually, no, thank you. Not, oh, thanks, it was 50p from Primark. Like there's so many different avenues I could go down, but I'm not going to today. So yeah, so do the brain dump, do the contrast to clarity, and then make a list of the things that make you happy, and then go and make time to do them. And on that note, I want to give you my quote that has changed so many lives, is that you're not putting yourself first. You're putting yourself on the same level that you put everybody else. Because if your son or your daughter or your partner wanted to go and do something like go out with their friends, you would say, yeah, off you go. That's absolutely fine. When are you going? Most of the time. Some of the times you might say, no, you're not doing that. Tosser, whatever. But but most of the time, like you would find a way for it to happen. You don't do that for you right now. Most of
Mm,
you not. And so you've got to switch that mindset to go, do you know what? By me going out and meeting a friend for lunch, like I've done today, that's going to fill my cup. I'm going to go home. I'm going to feel happier. So I'm going to be better with the kids and better with my husband. So
yes,
actually, by looking after you, you're not putting yourself first at all because actually you're still thinking about everybody else because the impact on them is going to be a positive one. Does that make sense?
it does. It makes so much sense. So true. It really is. And you've got a toolkit, haven't you, that you created to help people with these things. And there's so much more on that. You've got 10 things on your toolkit. Tell us a little bit about that, and we will link it in the show notes so that you can go and download that. And it's free, so you can get Heather's toolkit.
Fab. So yeah, so when I first started, I was like, what can I create that's going to help people? And it's 10 simple things that you can do to help reduce the overwhelm, because we all get that, don't we?
Yeah.
Even though we're trained in it, we still get it from time to time. But we have the tools to reduce that and to implement a more positive mindset. And it is 10 little things that you can do today, okay, that are going to help you to change your mindset, to flip your perspective, to do exactly what it says on the tin, to reduce that overwhelm and implement that more positive mindset. Because I think sometimes we know that we want to change, we know that things need to change, but we don't know where to start. And that toolkit just gives you those like starting blocks. So you don't have to go and do all 10 things. Maybe pick one thing and go and do that. But it's about keeping it simple, because what I teach, I heard something the other day. I was listening to some personal development, and I do most days, to be fair. Whilst I'm driving in my car, I've turned my car into a university, and it said, so much of the time you don't need to learn new stuff. You just need reminding
Yeah.
about the stuff that you already know. And I was like, oh, like that's genius. And like I know that, but I needed reminding about that. So yeah, so the stuff that is in the toolkit will help you. There is the contrast to clarity as well. So we can sort the links out and stuff for that, both for free. But yeah, it's two tools there that you can use straight away. They're not going to take you that long to do, but do take the time to do them if you are feeling stuck, because you do have like it's the little things that we think aren't going to make a difference that actually make a massive difference. And you don't have to do a lot to change your life.
That's so true. If we want to connect with you, someone wants to come and connect with you on social media, where can we find you?
So at More Than Just Mum, I am on YouTube. There's a few videos on there, but I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, all at More Than Just Mum. And then Facebook, if you type Heather Palfreyman, then you'll be able to find my Facebook group through my great photo, my cover photo and stuff like that. So
And we'll
yeah,
have the
just
link.
search for More.
The links will be there for you anyway, so just click on and go and find and connect with Heather. And then the question I ask all my guests at the end of every episode is, what is your best tip for being organised within your business?
Oh, I'm
Was
allowed to get my
everyone's?
plan. I'm allowed to get my diary out or
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
Yeah, right. Here we go. This is one of my best tips. Ta-da! Available on Amazon. And the academic one this year and the 25 one is on its way. But my best tip to get organised is on a Sunday night every week, time block your diary. Right, I can't hold it out for too long because it's actually my actual diary. Time block your diary. Celebrate your wins of the week. Okay, every Sunday night at 8 o'clock, I celebrate my wins of the week, the progress that I've made, whether it was getting the kids to school on time every day, whether it was getting the washing pile down, whether it was attending appointments and the kids were fine and I was fine with my anxiety, whether it was signing a new client, whatever it was, I have a list like this long every week. I have clients that go, I've not done anything this week. And
You
then
can guarantee they have.
within minutes, they're like, oh yeah, I've done all this stuff. That gives you a massive boost. Time block your diary, and then you wake up Monday morning going, do you know what I'm ready to do this week? That would be time blocking your diary, just helps you to be so much more organized. You can still be flexible, but actually you can see your week then.
You
And
can. I don't
when
mind
I
today.
say again,
I've done mine today. I know it's Friday. We're recording this on a Friday, but I do mine
yeah,
on a Friday because then I go and enjoy and relax over the weekend. But like Heather does hers on a Sunday because it fits hers, but definitely do it. I highly recommend it. I agree with
yeah.
that one.
When I don't time block my diary, my whole life is just an absolute shit show, to be fair.
Same.
I don't,
Same.
I've got two businesses done, and it's like I know if I feel myself spiraling, I can guarantee I haven't set my goals for the week and I haven't time blocked my diary. So
Mm.
that will be one of my top tips.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us, and thank you so much for joining us today. It's been great to have you on the podcast. Definitely go check out Heather, and we'll see you next time for another chat with another guest on this podcast.
Thank you.